Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are deeply, deeply sorry about the technical difficulties that plagued those finals. It was very unfortunate given how close our hero was to defeating the evil villain. But Max does pull out the victor in the end by 2 points, 9-7. In that point, so close was Josh able to pull that back and bring us to a set 3, but not quite able to find it. Adam, we unfortunately were not able to commentate at the end of that game, but we were talking about it on our own. Are there any comments that you'd like to echo back from our conversation?
Yeah, like poor Josh. If he had just played as confidently as he did in that first set, as he did in that second set, we could have seen like 2 tie breaks, not just the one. Not to mention, there was such a ridiculous number of aces coming in from Max. We were trying to figure out like how does someone counter that? Because for me, it was he was able to control so well and keep his nerve. So let's say you're sort of readying up to serve, and then Josh would either move to the left or stay center, and then Max would just either go to the complete opposite. He would either go for that center line if obviously Josh moved too far away from it, or do the complete opposite. And so poor Josh was just left just to be sat there and getting aced.
Was definitely unfortunate. You could tell which one of these players had the better long-term rally game, though. Absolutely. But hands down, Josh was a lot cleaner, a lot more capable in those longer form rallies. I think a lot of his mistakes in those rallies came from his own positioning and potentially nerves or overconfidence or one of these. But Josh, very good at playing that defensive style is something that I touched on when we were off air, Adam. Very good at playing behind that center line, forcing the enemy player into a bad spot. But sometimes he had a tendency to get a little too aggressive, come a little bit too far up close to the net, losing out on that positional advantage that he gets from playing a little bit further back and being able to react a little bit better. And Max definitely knew how to punish it.
Oh, absolutely. But I also can't blame Josh for wanting to play a little bit more aggressive, because a lot of his points also did come from a couple of really nice volleys where also Max came forward and tried to obviously outplay him and either slice it to make it really difficult for then Josh to return it. And so Josh probably thought, you know what, I've got some points from this. If I play the same and also be a little bit aggressive, I can still get some points. But I feel that Max just knew how to counter it. So yeah, I think unless Max came forward, Josh shouldn't have come forward. I think, as you said, Max not so great when it came to long-term rallies. Josh definitely doing far better in the rally department. But yeah, just really unfortunate for poor Josh. But we have found out who will be representing Staffs, and that is Max.
And what a player to take us to France. He's got a lot. He's got a long way to go in terms of his rally game. We've touched on that, but his service skills at the moment are so powerful, as we as you kind of touched on a little bit earlier on. Just very, very good at making his opponent panic, but making them question, where is this ball going to go? Where am I expecting to be? And he always has 2 modes, right? He likes to go for this. They're on one side. I'm going to aim it to where they're not. And then after he feels like maybe they're getting a little bit used to that strategy, a little bit more comfortable, he likes to mix it up. He likes to shoot it towards where they are. Then thinking it's going to go to the opposite side. They then move, obviously, and then are unable to rally it. So I think he's got a long way to go in terms of his general rally skill, but talking about service, I don't think anyone has him beat.
No, but he is very good at manipulating in the middle of rallies where, as you said, where people are. Like we saw Josh struggling a few times where Max would go for a really nice slice and force Josh really far forward and to either the far right or the far left-hand side of the court. And then Max would just capitalize and just hit it as far away from poor Josh as possible. But it was just a few times where, there was either a delayed input or I don't think Max had a no input this game. He did have a few in his first game yesterday, but I don't think he had any no inputs today. But some of his inputs were late, which did cause him to obviously hit that notorious net, the thing that everyone loved to hit today.
And he would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that damned net and that dumb enemy player.
Yep. You would get 100% aces if there was no opponent. Max would do very well then. Yeah, 100% aces.
If there was no one there to stop him, he would win every time.
Every time. That's what. Do you know what? Maybe we should come up with the rules for tennis next time. We just have no opponent and then boom, 100% win rate for everyone.
Turn tennis into a single player game.
Max does go away though with not only winning but also having the most aces of the tournament. I'm pretty sure that it was over half of the aces of the day were from Max. So I hear from production, Robbie, that we're going over to an interview. Who do you think it's first? Do you think it's Josh?
I think it might be both of them, Adam. But
at the same time,
find out at the same time.
Well, thank you, Adam and Robbie. Guys, how has your experience been so far in this tournament?
Phenomenal, honestly. It's just been a pleasure. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Fortunately, it didn't end the way I wanted, but that's just how it rolls sometimes, and it's okay. A better man deserved to win, so it was just a pleasure being able to stretch him out on that last set just a little bit.
And how about you, Max?
Yeah, it has been an amazing experience for me. Yeah, loved every minute of it as well. I got the result that I wanted, fortunately. It was getting a little bit close towards the end there, but yeah, I was able to pull it out, and it feels really good.
So, what would you say has been your favourite moments so far from these 2 days?
Personally, for me, game of volley, 100%. You're getting bragging rights over my friend. That's one thing. But that's personally, it's just been a great experience all round. I've literally enjoyed every minute of it. It's been loads of fun, and I'm just glad I've been given the opportunity, to be honest. Very
wholesome words. Max, favourite moments?
My favourite moments, they've all been off stream, unfortunately. It's all in the room with all the guys. There's loads of banter. It's just a really good environment to be in.
Very equally wholesome response. Here's a bit more of a laid-back question. If you had to be any tennis player from this game, who would you be and why?
Ooh. Probably Murray, I won't lie. Just, got to keep the British going. Strawberries and cream and all that. It's definitely the answer.
Well, assuming I can't just pick Bob Johnson, I think I'd have to go with Federer. He's one of the greatest of all time, one of the longest careers, and that's what I want to be doing.
Really bigging up Federer there. I mean, respect for the choice. Do any of you guys actually practice any tennis in real life, or do you prefer other sports compared to tennis? Obviously, physically.
Yeah. I mean, last time I played it was in high school, so it was nice. It was nice being able to go back, remember some of the terms. It was nice, but probably not something I'm looking forward to doing in the future. But it was an experience, and I'm grateful again.
Nice. Max, any physical sports?
I've dabbled a little bit in tennis. Play every couple of years. Mostly, I play field hockey. I'm part of the Field Hockey Society here at Staffs, and also a little bit of American football.
Interesting stuff. So, commiserations to you, Josh. You played amazingly well, but unfortunately, Max just happened to play a little bit better. How do you feel coming second out of the entire tournament?
I'm still ecstatic. I came here with the intention of just being able to beat Ollie. I got that down. But end of the day, it is what it is, and I'm just grateful to be here, make it to the final. Met some great people. Honestly, everyone's been really nice, really upfront. It's been just quite nice, to be honest.
Are there any other changes that you would make next time to try and help win that final spot?
Honestly, no. Maybe sticking a bit more with my choices on return serves, because majority of time it was down the middle. Most of his aces were, so I felt like I just had to eliminate that a little more, but it's really hard to do.
Do you have any last words to our viewers?
Hello. No, I don't.
All right, over to you, Max. So there was a lot at stake here, right? So this was the final spot to represent the United Kingdom in the international in France. How are you feeling right now?
Well, I've had a little bit of a look at the other countries, and they're playing some really bad tennis. So I think the hard part's done.
I don't think some of the other countries would take too kindly to that sort of remark. How are you going to approach the challenge when you arrive there?
I'm going to welcome it. If they can come beat me, then fair. But I don't think they can.
So, we briefly saw your username show up on screen. I just wanted to know a little bit about how did you actually come up with your username and what is it? What's it about?
It's a reference to an old BBC show, Red Dwarf.
Nice.
To a specific character in that, but I am also stopping to use that name now. This is the last tournament I'm going to be using it in.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing a little bit of a rebrand on at the moment.
Would you want to mention it here first?
I think I'll wait till it's done to announce it.
Okay. If you so now that you've won this tournament and you're going to be going on into the internationals, do you have a signature move in mind that you're going to use? No profanity, of course.
Winning.
Well, bold words from Max here. Do you have any last words you want to say to our viewers?
Thank you for watching, and thanks for the support, or the support to the other players as well, and thanks for watching.
Well, thank you very much guys for picking your brains. That's all it from us. We'll take you back to the studio.
Hello, everyone. So I'm a very random dude that is sitting in front of you now, but I am actually the course leader at Staffordshire University for the Esports course. To my right, obviously, I have Tom. Tom,
Yep.
I've been on the broadcast unit. I've been watching you all day. I've been watching all the other players. What has it been like for you?
It's just been an amazing opportunity for us. It's like a community feel over here now. It's just great to see people again. To be honest, it's first proper event since the pandemic and all that. But yeah, it's just been great to get in, get to see the people, get to take part, get to be casting as well. Just full range of skills.
Obviously, on that, this has been an amazing event on that we are so honoured to be a part of, which we're going to do a lot of thank yous after this. And one of those big thank yous, which I will repeat, is everyone that's been watching at home. We massively appreciate that. With regards on that, Tom, well, this isn't your only event, obviously, that you're going to be doing. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we've got a couple of events coming up because of being part of the third year, our final assessment is to run our own events, our own multiplayer events, and they will all be taking part on this Staffordshire University channel. So make sure you click that follow button, get notifications on, make sure you're tuning in. I think it's in a couple of weeks. As I know.
Couple of weeks, yeah.
Ours is due for May 8th, and I think it's between the 3rd of May and the 14th is the slots. So yeah, it's hopefully going to be a lot of good events coming up.
Do you think you guys have maybe learnt anything from doing this particular event compared to maybe other events you've done, or like, is there anything maybe from the course that you've transitioned into this process?
Oh, definitely. I think just seeing the professionalism on this side and utilising all the software and everything, all the skills for a lot of the students, just trying to get everyone involved, making sure that it all runs smoothly as possible. And we've learnt about that in the past 3 years. We've got the casting and hosting modules, and we've got our events experience modules. Unfortunately, we couldn't do our event last year due to the pandemic, but this year, hopefully, we all make up for it.
Yeah, so that's something I wanted to touch on. Obviously, it's been hard for a lot of students, we know, but with this event, we've really, pushed you to make sure you can do it. What would you say is one of the biggest lessons that you've learned in this particular production and event for the future of maybe your career? Because you're about to leave your course, aren't you? Like, you're about to graduate.
Yeah, we're about to graduate in midway through June, I believe.
Scary, right?
That's when the assignment's due, so make sure it is. But yeah, just a lot of lessons, to be honest. Just making sure that you can do it, even though any obstacles that are in the way, like the pandemic. Just make sure that everything you've learned through these past 3 years, you can put the event on at the end of the day.
Cool. Do you think on that there's any particular transitional skills? I know there's a lot of young people that have been watching this today, maybe admire all the things that you've been doing, thinking on maybe they want to join the course as well. Like anything in particular you think on that you'd like to give them advice?
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of skills. There's management skills, as you've seen, like students are all involved today. You've got all the casting skills, interview, the players involved, students doing the floor managing, a lot of students helping out on the broadcast as well. There's students at every point of this broadcast and any event, they're always involved. That's the whole message from the university, making sure them students come first and that any opportunity they can do any skills that they want. So I did casting, interviewing, everything.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, this university supports a lot of programs, but we have a lot of help behind the scenes. So one of the biggest things I want to do right now is just say a big thank you, and I'm going to put a camera on the production. If the production could put their camera on themselves, I want everyone to give a big wave. This is the type of thing that you learn in the course, and these are the type of people you meet and work with. We could not make this happen without fantastic production crew that works so hard behind the scenes. This is both on the course and for all the events on that we do. So a massive thank you on that to all of you. Another one is the players. So obviously on that we send an email out to all the players, as you can see them in the room. These are the type of facilities on that you really need to make sure that you're putting on for events like this. And the opportunity for players and anyone to get experience is absolutely mandatory when it comes to a course. So that's something we really help promote. Obviously, a big thank you on that to Roland Garros for having us and letting us do this. British Esports have been promoting it on their channels. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. The idea is that this is a community that we can build. And Tom, do you feel part of that community now?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just everyone's like we've not spoke to some of the first years before because it's been a mix of all the years, but now they're feeling that because we've been doing this event together for the past couple of weeks, getting the practice in, everyone's just gelled and it's just become like almost kind of family.
Definitely. And speaking of family, I want to invite my two other casters onto the desk with me. Hello, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing very well, Stu. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much, guys, on that for doing your commentary today. I will ask Aladdin to make an appearance behind us just so he can pop a wave. But this is a big thank you on that to Robbie and Adam, to Tom, and to Aladdin. This is a something on that we wouldn't been able to do without you. You dedicated your time. They're also doing assessments at the same time, so much appreciation to all the students. There's a lot of people on that I don't unfortunately have time to thank in the sense of the amount of names, but there's been a lot of people that go and put hard work into these events, and if that's something that you're interested in, I'd follow your passion, follow your dreams, and don't let them be memes. So I got one final question on that to you all. Have you enjoyed your event, and what's the biggest thing that you've learned? And I want to also obviously congratulate and say good luck to our finalists as well. We'll start with Robbie.
Okay. I figured we would go the other way round. But
we like to mix it
God,
up.
have I enjoyed the event? No, I've hated every single second. It's been a wonderful experience. I've had a lot of fun. I think my favorite moment was probably the semi-final that me and Adam got to cast earlier on. It was, in my opinion, the best game of tennis that we got to see this week start, which is a new term that I'm starting to coin Monday and Tuesday. And also week mid for Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday and Wednesday, and then weekend, obviously. But that's going to be my favorite part of this tournament so far, yeah. So far.
So far, yeah.
So far.
I don't know how you get so far.
We still have a few minutes left.
We still have a few minutes left, absolutely. But for me, it's got to be poor Brian. The boy had such great memes and was so meme worthy the entire tournament. And I'm so sad that his defeat was so swift. But I also love that Max played the villain the entire way through, and he's definitely not like that in real life. But everyone that played was so nice to each other, and they all played with each other, and they all had a good time practicing. And I'm just so happy that somebody played the villain. But I'm just so sad that poor Brian. Those statistics don't lie. Those statistics will never lie.
Okay.
What about you, Tom?
I just enjoyed the whole event, to be honest. And the best part was taking part in that semi-final against Josh. It's a cracking game of tennis, and just a bit unfortunate not to win, but a better man won at the end of the day, and it was just great to be involved.
Final thing, lads. Do you think you're all going to play tennis now?
Real tennis?
Real tennis. Real tennis.
I already do.
Oh, Robbie's already on
Might
it.
have to borrow one of them rackets from Robbie, actually.
Yeah,
me
Robbie
me and Ross already play tennis. Well, we used to play weekly, obviously, before lockdown started and we weren't able to go outside. But hopefully looking to get back into it once we're allowed to.
There you go. Fantastic. Well, I'm on that just a short part of all of this. There's a lot of people involved, and I think on that I'm going to actually let you guys have the last word. Robbie, Adam, Tom, what would you like to say to everyone that to say goodbye?
just thank you for watching. Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you for following us on this journey, and hopefully it's the beginning of a good partnership with Roland Garros on this E-Series.
Cool. Thank you so much
Anyone
Annette,
else?
for joining us, and have a good time. If you haven't followed already, then yeah, we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone, and goodbye.